Ever wondered why some people go out of their way to flaunt their attention elsewhere, hoping to stir jealousy within you? Could it be that in their attempts, they've only ended up trapping themselves instead? You know what it feels like to be pushed to the sidelines, your worth questioned, and your purpose forgotten. You've experienced moments where you felt discarded, like an afterthought in a world that seems to overlook what's truly valuable. The weight of this energy isn't just an occasional burden, it's a constant pressure, a heavy force that forces you to question your very existence, to seek out what truly matters in the vast chaotic reality that surrounds you. But this sense of being underestimated, of feeling like a forgotten piece in an endless puzzle, is not without reason. It calls on you to look deeper, beyond the obvious, and confront the intense emotions and challenging questions that often go unspoken. You're standing on the edge of something far greater than yourself, and the answers you seek lie hidden within the darkness you may have been taught to fear. This isn't about idle curiosity. It's about diving into the core of why you're here now, in this particular moment, when the world feels heavier, more intense, and somehow more urgent. Every draining, relentless struggle you've faced has its purpose. The energy is thick, almost suffocating, because it is a reflection of the unseen battles that rage within you. These aren't superficial, fleeting experiences. They're deeply rooted, tangled vines of purpose and pain, coiled around your spirit, demanding to be acknowledged. This intensity isn't a punishment, it's a signpost, urging you to confront what you've perhaps been too afraid to face. You're not simply feeling these things by accident, you're feeling them because you are sensitive to the undercurrents that most choose to ignore. The emotions coursing through you aren't mere reactions. They're messages, each one asking you to recognize your worth, to reclaim your place, to find power in the very intensity that others might shy away from. This energy is yours to harness. You feel it, the push and pull of energies that press against you like turbulent waves. They're not random or insignificant. They're relentless, carrying the weight of unspoken judgments, expectations, and at times outright disapproval. These conflicting energies crash over you, mingling with voices from the past, family expectations, and lingering shadows of relationships that once seemed to matter. It's as though every fiber of your being is caught in a current that tries to dictate your worth, yet has no understanding of it. You sense the shame that others have tried to project onto you, like a dense fog attempting to settle in your lungs, a foreign poison. But this shame isn't born of your own actions or failures. It's the residue of their insecurities, their unwillingness to face their own darkness. They cast their doubts, their fears, and their limitations onto you, as though by weighing you down, they might relieve some of their own burdens. But none of it belongs to you. These projections are as brittle and hollow as dried leaves, incapable of defining the true essence that lies beneath your skin. Society itself is no innocent bystander. It wraps you in expectations like shackles, its demands as cold and unyielding as iron. You're told what to be, how to act, whom to love, and how to exist. Yet these external pressures are nothing more than a reflection of others' fears. People terrified of seeing anyone rise above the constraints that they themselves feel bound by. They whisper their doubts, hoping to anchor you in a reality that is palatable to their own insecurities. A reality where they don't have to confront their own failures or limitations. You are the trump card, the hidden force that reshapes the game when it's least expected. Where others scramble to mask the truth, you pull back the layers, unveiling the secrets they so desperately want to keep hidden. This is your role, to be a catalyst, a force that doesn't settle for the shallow, superficial answers, but dives to uncover what lies buried, the raw and unpolished truths. The path before you splits into two distinct branches. On one side lies the route of healing, a path that few dare to tread. Healing requires you to confront not just the comforting illusions, but also the sharp, brutal reality hidden beneath. Most avoid it, preferring the smoother, more familiar path of avoidance, where they can shuffle along in denial, free from the discomfort of facing what lies beneath the surface. But this reluctance, this resistance to truly heal, only breeds more struggle, more pain that festers and spreads, unchecked and unchallenged. And here you are, having faced the consequences of their denial. They may have pushed you aside, brushed you off, hoping you'd stay hidden, like some inconvenient truth they could conveniently forget. But you were never out of the picture. You've always been there, simmering beneath the surface, a force they couldn't ignore even if they tried. Because your presence brings with it a reckoning, a reminder that there's no hiding from the truth, no matter how deep they try to bury it. Now, if you're ready to step into a space where you're never out of the picture, where your presence is not only recognized but amplified, then the Obsidian Inner Order, powered by Astral Atom, is where you belong. This community is built for chosen ones like you, the ones who were underestimated, dismissed and buried, but who refuse to stay in the shadows. In the Inner Order you rise, fully seen, fully acknowledged, and make your impact impossible to ignore. This is where you'll never be brushed aside again, where you take center stage, standing alongside others who understand the power of being unshakable. If you're ready to join a community that sees you for the force you truly are, the link is in the description. You've felt the weight of society's expectations, like chains wrapped around you, forged by those who believe they have the right to shape who you are. Family, community, or distant voices of society all have tried to mold you into something convenient, something that fits neatly within their preconceived limits. You stand at the center of this, feeling the pull of their desires, the oppressive hands that attempt to force you into a role they deem acceptable. Now, if you're ready to step into a space where you're never out of the picture, where your presence is not only recognized but amplified, then the Obsidian Inner Order is where you belong. This community is built for chosen ones like you, the ones who are underestimated, dismissed and buried, but who refuse to stay in the shadows. In the Inner Order, you rise, fully seen, fully acknowledged, and make your impact impossible to ignore. This is where you'll never be brushed aside again, where you take center stage, standing alongside others who understand the power of being unshakable. If you're ready to join a community that sees you for the force you truly are, the link is in the description. Step into the Inner Order and let the world know you were never out of the picture to begin with. But you're not blind to their jealousy, that venomous force that colors their attempts to control you. It isn't subtle either. Jealousy has a way of seeping into the words of loved ones, twisting their advice into commands, their concern into control. These aren't simply suggestions meant for your well-being. They are veiled attempts to keep you from outshining them, from walking a path they themselves are too afraid to tread. They want you to remain within the familiar shadows, the same shadows they occupy, fearful of your potential because it exposes the limits they've set for themselves. External expectations are like a storm, pounding against you, trying to erode your essence, to wear you down until you become just another faceless part of the whole. Yet here you stand, spiritually unshaken, your core untouched. You're aligned with something greater, something they cannot comprehend. Their insecurities may lash out at you, but you are not swayed. Their projections slide off you like rain from armor forged in fire. You are tempered, solid, and unmoved by their attempts to define you. The world has targeted you with its insecurities, like arrows aimed to wound, yet you remain whole. They underestimate the power you hold, a power that comes not from conforming, but from resisting, from holding steadfast to the truths that you alone carry. You are not the product of their expectations, and you do not bow to the limitations they impose. You are a force of spiritual alignment, standing against the tide, unwavering as the storms of jealousy and expectation swirl around you. There's a third energy surrounding you, a force that thrives on material concerns and the false sheen of appearances. This energy is cunning, infiltrating your life from the periphery, perhaps through family or community, aiming to pull you towards superficial pursuits that only serve to obscure your true purpose. It's a force that whispers of security and comfort, yet all it offers is a hollow reflection, a glittering surface devoid of depth. It seeks to cloud your vision, to weigh you down with desires that have nothing to do with your authentic self. This energy is relentless, pressing on you to conform, to prioritize the fleeting and the shallow over what resonates with your spirit. It feeds off inauthenticity, encouraging you to betray your own inner compass in exchange for approval and the illusion of stability. Like a shadow stretching across your path, it casts doubts and distractions, hoping to divert you from the powerful spiritual force you carry within. It wants you to compromise, to dilute your essence so that you blend seamlessly into a reality shaped by materialism and falsehood. Yet despite the pull of this third-party energy, you remain a force in your own right, a spiritual presence that cannot be extinguished by external influence. While this energy may try to sway you, to tether you to a life built on shallow foundations, it cannot penetrate the core of who you are. You stand as a testament to authenticity, rooted in a purpose that transcends the hollow values this force clings to. You are recognized, not by the world's shallow metrics, but by a deeper, spiritual awareness that sees through the mirage. Even as this third energy circles around you, your presence disrupts its influence. You're not drawn in by the allure of what it offers, because you see it for what it is, a veil, thin and weak, unable to hide the vastness of your spirit. You are here to transcend, to move beyond the limits it attempts to impose, to break free from its material grasp. In a world captivated by illusions, you are the one who stands rooted, unshakable, a force they cannot ignore. The tables are turning, and you can feel the shift beneath you, like the ground itself is rearranging in your favor. Where once you were faced with closed doors and barren landscapes, a new path emerges, vivid and unmistakable. This isn't chance or mere coincidence. This is the divine plan unfolding, a calculated reversal of fortunes that has been a long time in the making. The forces that once pressed against you, attempting to confine you, now crumble, revealing space for you to stretch and rise. You've witnessed others around you casting their choices like stones into wet cement, assuming their actions were fleeting, inconsequential. But now, that cement is drying, hardening, sealing their choices and consequences into a fixed reality. The missteps, the decisions made without foresight, are now permanent fixtures they must navigate. Meanwhile, your own choices, those guided by spiritual integrity, have carved out a path that's not only solid, but aligned with something far greater than the trivial pursuits that once surrounded you. You are no longer bound by the constraints others face. The foundation beneath you is firm, built on truths that cannot be eroded. You're stepping into a time where the spiritual path offers not just guidance, but clear, unmistakable alignment. What once felt like a labyrinth is now a straight path, revealing itself as you walk, each step echoing with purpose and resonance. This reversal, this turning of tables, isn't a moment of luck. It's the reward for staying true to the course, for moving forward when the way was obscured and others gave up. Your endurance has been recognized, your efforts weighed and honored by forces beyond this world. As you proceed, the path will continue to light up with signs and markers meant specifically for you, undeniable validations that you are precisely where you need to be. The struggle, the patience, the discipline, they have all built up to this moment, and the rewards are no longer distant. They are here, unfolding in real time as you watch the once fluid cement of destiny harden into a structure that holds only for you, a force that shields and uplifts, guiding you with a clarity that cannot be obscured. You feel it, a seismic shift reverberating through your soul, shaking loose what once felt anchored. This is no isolated event. You are part of a larger cosmic upheaval, a recalibration of timelines that bends and twists to realign with something more profound. There is a mass divergence underway, a split where those tethered to the physical world cling to the crumbling structures of material existence, while you, resolute and unwavering, walk the path of spirit, ascending above the chaos. You're not just riding the wave, you are the wave, a force uncontainable, moving with a purpose that transcends the mundane. This shift demands choices. Those around you, who have chosen paths of comfort and ease, find themselves entangled in webs of physicality, their spirits dimmed by the allure of tangible gains. They are caught in a race to nowhere, while you stand apart, steadfast in your commitment to something deeper. You have chosen to climb, not through mountains of gold, but through layers of consciousness, peeling back the facades that bind the ordinary. This is not a decision made lightly, and the path you've taken is marked by trials that test your very essence. Yet you remain undeterred, driven by an inner fire that seeks not wealth but wisdom, not fleeting pleasures but enduring truth. Soon, you will find yourself walking beside others who share this calling, souls who have chosen to navigate by spirit rather than by sight. The chosen ones, those whose vibrations resonate with the pulse of the universe, will emerge, and you will recognize them by the light in their eyes and the strength in their steps. Together, you will move forward, a collective force in tune with the rhythms of a higher reality, unbothered by the noise that tries to pull you back down. This convergence is not an accident. It is a gathering of kindred spirits, drawn together by the magnetic pull of a shared destiny. With each step, you are joining a procession of those who see beyond the surface, who understand the unfolding transformation as not a mere change, but a spiritual rebirth. You walk this path not alone, but as part of a divine orchestration, moving together towards a future that honors the eternal, the unbreakable, the sacred. You stand at the threshold of your true power, no longer willing to be siphoned by those who would drain your energy to sustain themselves. You've known these vampiric forces, the ones who latch on, leeching away your vitality, hoping to dim your light to brighten their own shadows. They've anchored themselves to you, feeding off your resilience, trying to claim your strength as their own. But this is your moment to break free, to cut loose the tendrils that have wrapped around you, draining you with every step. You owe them nothing, and the time has come to reclaim what has always been yours. The energies you've given away are returning, rushing back like rivers to their source, filling you with a strength that's been long deferred. This isn't a time for quiet reflection. It's a time for taking back your essence piece by piece from those who sought to dilute it. You're no longer bound by the expectations or dependencies of others. You are here to embrace the full extent of your potential, to revel in the boundless power that's been waiting patiently, simmering beneath the surface, ready to surge forward now that you've cast off the shackles that sought to hold you back. This is the hour to receive. The universe, like a coiled spring, is poised to deliver to you the abundance you've earned through your endurance. You're not merely stepping into your potential. You're charging into it, claiming every ounce of strength and wisdom that has been slowly amassing in your spirit. There's no longer room for the parasitic presences that once clung to you, hoping to siphon your light. Your energy is now a fortress, impenetrable and radiant, yours to wield as you see fit. There's a force within you, a warrior spirit that has long waited beneath the surface, coiled like a serpent ready to strike. This isn't some hidden aspect that needs to be coaxed or cajoled into existence. It is a powerful presence, an alter ego honed by the fires of every challenge you've faced. Now, with the energy of a rising storm, it emerges. You've carried this warrior within you, a force prepared to confront the unseen, to stand unflinching in the face of all that seeks to undermine your path. It has always been there, waiting for the precise moment when you would need its strength, when the world around you calls not for softness, but for an unwavering, unbreakable resolve. This warrior spirit is not alone. Your spiritual team surrounds you, a legion of guides, ancestors, and energies that fortify your every step. They are with you, either as an internal fire that refuses to be quenched, or as an external force that subtly influences your path, placing the right people and situations before you like chess pieces on a board. These allies have seen every twist in your journey, every tear and triumph, and they respond now with a fierce, undeniable presence, reminding you that you are never alone in this battle. Your warrior spirit awakens not because you are under attack, but because you are stepping into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. It rises to remind you that you are both the shield and the sword, a force capable of carving your destiny with precision and power. The world may throw its challenges at you, but it has yet to reckon with this side of you, this side that knows exactly how to stand firm, to remain unshaken in the face of chaos. You are your own fortress, reinforced by those unseen yet ever present, guiding you with a steady hand and an unyielding will. The time for hesitation is gone. You are stepping into your role as a warrior, not because you choose to fight, but because you choose to protect what is sacred within you. You do not move forward alone. You are accompanied, guarded, and lifted by the spiritual team that has claimed you as one of their own. Together you march forward, grounded in a power that does not waver, a strength that does not bend, and a spirit that cannot be conquered. You're standing in a silence that feels vast and unyielding, a solitude that wraps around you like a cloak. This isn't emptiness, it's a crucible, a space crafted for your transformation. Here, you're stripped down to the core, away from the noise and chaos that once clung to you. The solitude isn't a punishment, but an invitation to meet yourself fully, to walk into the depths of who you are with no distractions, no pretense. This space asks you to face the hard lessons head-on, to confront the truths that only emerge when the world falls away. In this solitude, you confront lessons that are not gentle or easy. They are fierce and unyielding, like mountains that demand to be climbed, no matter how steep the path. But within these lessons lies the power to reshape you, to carve away the superficial layers until only the essence of who you truly are remains. The silence holds wisdom that you cannot find in the noise, wisdom that only reveals itself to those willing to stand still, to endure the weight of their own presence without flinching. Here in the quiet, you have no choice but to listen, to your heartbeat, to your fears, and to the whispered truths that were drowned out by the clamor of the world. This solitude sharpens you like a blade honed against the hardest stone, refining your spirit, making you resilient and unbreakable. It teaches you to rely not on the fleeting approval of others, but on the steadfast strength that resides within you. This journey of healing and self-realization is yours alone, and it holds power beyond what you can fathom. You're not here by accident, and every step you take is carved with intention and purpose. Your path has been filled with trials that demanded your strength, and you've emerged sharper, more attuned, more resilient. You are reclaiming pieces of yourself that others tried to bury, rising above the noise and distractions to find the truth of who you are. Now is the time to rest, to breathe deeply, and let your spirit settle into the strength you've discovered. You've endured storms and silence alike, and both have shaped you into the person you are becoming. This is where you honor yourself, where you trust that every part of your path is unfolding exactly as it should. You've made it through the shadows. Now it's time to allow yourself the grace to heal, to restore, and to let the light that's been guiding you grow even brighter. Embrace this moment to regenerate, to nourish yourself, and to trust fully in the spiritual path that continues to unfold just for you. You are on this journey not just to transform, but to inspire. Your story holds the power to awaken others, to ignite within them the same courage that carried you through. Share your experiences, your challenges, and your victories. Let others see the strength that resides in authenticity, in vulnerability, and in relentless growth. Your voice is needed, your story a beacon, because in sharing, you forge connections that transcend time and space. With gratitude and love, continue forward, knowing that your path not only heals you, but also lights the way for those who are just beginning to find their own strength.